Shortly before my grandpa died, I had the pleasure of going on a 3-hour-long road trip with him to go visit my dad, and I got to drive. Now, that was huge for me because I was 19 years old. I had a brand new car. My grandpa had never been in the car with me while I was driving, so I was feeling good. I'm trying to show off, like, look, Grandpa, my hands are at 10 and 2. Now, I had my younger siblings, Mark and Melissa, in the car with me as well, and before we officially hit the road, we decided to take a little pit stop. At this point, my brother Mark decides he wanted to be a little prankster, and he had this little remote control fart machine that he slid under my seat in the car. And he gets out of the car and he turns the corner. He had the remote with him and he's pushing the button. And I'm sitting there laughing with my grandpa about something, and all of a sudden it's quiet and you just hear, I was tripping because I knew what it was. And I look at my grandpa, he looks at me and he's like, boy, you let out wind. I'm like, no, Grandpa, trust me, it wasn't me. And I just start cracking up because I couldn't believe Mark did that to me. So I'm laughing and I'm trying to tell him it wasn't me. And then Mark pushes the button again. It's like, he was like, boy, I know you over there farting. You better stop. I was cracking up even harder now. And I'm like, Grandpa, trust me, it's not me, it's Mark. He's like, Mark's not in this car. Mark pushes the button again. My grandpa elbows me hard. Now, I don't know if you've ever been hit with like old man strength. Old man strength is a different level of pain. Like, I felt the elbow in my soul, and he elbowed me in the arm. Now, once my brother finally gets back in the car, he shows him the fart machine. We all have a good laugh. We officially hit the road. Now, on our drive in the middle of the highway, this thick fog rolls over the road. And mind you, at 19 years old, I had never driven in fog before. So I was panicking because this was a thick fog. Like, you couldn't even see 3 feet in front of you. It was just all white all around. During this time in my life, I had suffered from really bad panic attacks and anxiety attacks and everything. So I felt it starting to hit me. I started freaking out, and I'm driving. My grandpa could see that I was visibly shaking, and he could see this panic attack coming on. He's like, don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Now, him being from Chicago and Tennessee, he's used to driving in different weather conditions. So I was like, you want to maybe take the wheel? I could just pull over real quick. Now, rather than letting me panic and back out the situation and he rescue me, he was like, nah, don't worry, you're gonna be fine and you're gonna drive us there. Now, he calmed me down by telling me to continue to look at the lines on the road. And I was like, absolutely. In my mind, I was like, I can't see anything at all, so let me turn on the brights. I turned on the brights and it just got worse. He was like, no, don't turn on your brights because that's water in the air. It's gonna reflect back at you. I was like, man, that makes sense. Now, we're driving through this fog for like an hour and a half. My nerves are shot, and everybody's life is in my hands since I'm the driver. And my grandpa stays awake with me the entire time, talking to me, calming me down, just pointing out facts of how you can keep your eyes on the road, trusting the roads in front of you, knowing where you're going, understanding how not to turn on brighter lights in fog because it reflects back at you. Stuff that I didn't realize and I didn't know. Like, he was telling me everything that forever sticks with me. And to this day, I no longer fear driving in fog. I've driven in fog plenty of times. As a matter of fact, like, I enjoy driving through fog because it reminds me of that time with my grandpa. So in a weird way, it's like I still hear his voice when I'm driving through fog. So thanks to him, we made it to my dad safely. That trip was so much fun with my dad, my siblings, my grandpa, and that was the last time that we got to hang out with him before he passed away. And I wish I would have known that, but regardless, I don't think it would have changed anything because it was such a fun time and I learned so much, something that sticks with me to this day and that I'll always remember. But on our way back, he left us with something really funny because he had to go to the bathroom so bad. I pulled over and got us all hot chocolate, and we all drank the hot chocolate so quick. It was so delicious, but my grandpa had to go to the bathroom. He's like, boy, you might want to pull over up here. I'm like, don't worry about it, Grandpa. There's a stop coming up down the way. He's like, no, you need to pull over now. I was like, okay. I pull the car over and he gets out to go pee, and I'm thinking he's gonna go behind like one of the bushes. He gets out and he stops at the rear passenger window and just starts peeing. And that's where my sister is sitting. So my sister is just freaking out like, oh my God, he's peeing right here by the window. He didn't realize I had limo tint, but just because you can't see in the car, like, doesn't mean we can't see out it. So my sister was like scarred, like, oh my God, he's peeing right here by my face. And it was the funniest thing. But overall, an amazing trip. So I tell this story just to say that, you know, when you're gone, you're no longer here. What sticks is the impact that you had on people's lives. You know, that memory of you. That's what's important, your character. So I say this just to say, be a great person, be an amazing person, and leave something great with this earth. Contribute, you know, leave something amazing for the next generation of kids coming up. Because That's what my grandpa did. My grandpa was a great man. And this one little story does not capture the greatness that he was. So my grandpa Willie, I love him and I appreciate him, and may he rest in peace. And yeah, that story will stick with me forever.